Hello, you wonderful people out there. My name is Huck Stewart. I'm an instructional designer. My focus is on e-learning for students. So this may sound familiar to some of you. More and more we're being asked to deliver content online where we're used to being able to deliver it in person, whether that's a presentation for coworkers or a lesson for your students. And one of the temptations we face is just take those same presentations or those same lessons and then just put them in an online setting with something like Zoom. But today I'm going to show you 4 simple ways that we can pre-record micro lectures so that we can deliver them to our students or our coworkers online. Now, if you want to learn more about micro lectures and what they are, I'll post a link in the description below. I'll also try to put a video here. Now stick around for the end of the video as well, because we're going to go over some tips and tricks that will make your videos more engaging and make it more likely that your students will watch to the very end of the video. So let's jump right into it. Now, for most of these today, all you're going to need is a phone. Now, to be able to distribute those videos, you may need a computer later, but for the purposes of recording your lectures, this will be it. This is all you're going to need. All right, jumping right into it, the types of video lectures that you can do. I have 4 types in my mind. You might think of more ideas and more ways to be able to make videos. Let me know if I missed any. But the first one is just what you're seeing here, the talking head. Maybe all you need is just a couple of minutes to deliver some information to your students. There are some major benefits to having an online presence in your course. If your students see you occasionally, they'll be able to connect with you more, which studies show improves intention and recompletion. So what you'll need here to be able to make a talking head video is just a phone and then something to prop it up on. Now, I personally recommend a tripod. Tripods are not very expensive new. You can probably get one for about 30 bucks. I think this one was 40 because it came with this light here. Now, you don't need a light like this, but it is really nice to have extra light to kind of fill in some shadow spaces. The other thing you'll need is something to be able to clamp your phone to the tripod. So if you end up getting a tripod, make sure you get something that can connect to your phone like this. And then this would just get hooked up right here. Boom, done. And now I'm ready to record my lesson. Now, honestly, you don't need a tripod. If you don't have a tripod, you can always just prop it up on something. Grab some of those old textbooks you're never using anymore. Maybe grab like a stack of money or something and then just prop it up here. You've also got yourself a makeshift tripod. Now, the second type of video you can make, if you're used to demonstrating or showing something on the board, you can always position your camera in front of a whiteboard and go ahead and just deliver your content that way. Make sure you position yourself so your students can still see you, but then they can also see the whiteboard. Now, the third way you can actually create online video content, essentially if you do have some sort of slideshow presentation, if you have a large enough screen or a TV or even a projector that you could display this content on, you can still set up the camera in front of the screen with you being able to talk beside it. Now, of course, you want to be careful here because if my font is too small, you're not going to be able to read it. So my PowerPoint presentations are going to have to be modified so that the bullet points are larger and more concise, and so I'm not overloading my students with a bunch of information. Now, the last way I wanted to show you was actually a demonstration type example where you have the camera over some sort of board or paper or poster, and you need to show a demonstration of some kind here. So you can, do your mathematics and show something here. Even though they're not able to see you, they're able to hear you and they're able to see what you're demonstrating here. This would be a perfectly appropriate way to deliver micro lectures and video content to your students. So that's it. Those are 4 simple ways that you can create your own online video lectures or video trainings. So you can either do the talking head approach in front of a whiteboard, in front of a screen, or a top-down approach over a piece of paper. The next steps after this would be to polish and edit it, which I'm not going to show you in this video. If you're at that level where you already know how to edit your own videos, I highly recommend editing them, taking out the things like ums and the sniffs and weird awkward pauses. If you're not at that level, don't worry about it. If your videos aren't perfect, that's okay. After that, what you're going to want to do is find a way to share them. Now, you can find a hosting platform like YouTube, or more likely, you can easily upload these videos into your LMS. For me, that would be Canvas. If I showed you how to do this in this video, that would take too long. So what we're going to do is share a few additional videos that will show you how to do those as well. If you stick with us for just a few more minutes, I'm going to share with you a few additional tips and tricks that you can use that'll make your videos more engaging and make it more likely that your students will stick around to the whole video. Number 1, keep it short. My target goal in this video is to keep it under 6 minutes. I really hope that's happening. I'm sorry if I'm going over 6 minutes. But a recent study showed that nearly 100% of students watched their teacher's videos if they were under 6 minutes. What's really interesting is if they went over 9 minutes, only about 50% of them finished the video. If you're doing a 50-minute lecture video, forget about it. Most students are just not even gonna bother watching it. Number 2, use a script. I'm gonna try to practice what I preach here. Here's my script, there's a bunch of bullet points. The reason I use bullet points instead of writing out word for word what I want to say is because I don't want to sound like I'm actually reading it to the students. There's nothing worse than a presentation where I literally just stand up and read something to the students, right? So you're still going to want to talk as if it's coming from you, but use a script to keep your focus on exactly what you need to do to deliver content for your students. Okay, number 3, beware of cognitive load. Do not try to cram a bunch of information into this video. Notice how if I have additional information, I'm alluding to the fact that there are other videos out there that'll help you with those additional things. Number 4, keep it engaging. Be yourself, talk to people. I know it's a little awkward to talk to a camera. Most of you are used to talking to just people and getting feedback and seeing them nod their heads and laugh at your bad jokes. But it's okay to still share those bad jokes. You're not gonna get feedback, you're not gonna get reactions, but you are gonna show your students that you are human. In addition to keeping it engaging, make sure you keep it relevant. I find it the most helpful when faculty start their videos with a quick introduction of what they're going to cover in that video. And this will go a long way to helping your students stay on focus. When you're making videos, you'll want to consider your location and your lighting and your sound. Make sure you're in a place that's nice and quiet. There's nothing more distracting than weird noises coming out of your video when you're trying to teach. Make sure you have a forward-facing light that fills in the space. Don't put a light directly behind you. Make sure you consider your background. Double check that it's relatively clean and not very distracting. Sorry if some of you got distracted by my Slytherin flag here. I got sorted into Slytherin. Go Snakes. And the last few things you need to remember is this. Your video does not have to be perfect. You're gonna mess up. You're going to fumble on your words and it's going to feel very awkward. Over time, you're going to get better. It does help to edit some of your mistakes out, but your students also know that you are human. Do you make mistakes when you deliver lectures live? The answer is of course you do. We all do. The cool thing is you can edit those out or you can always redo it. I hope this video was helpful for you. I'm going to be making a few more tutorial videos. If you have any ideas of what you'd like me to cover, please leave a comment and I will try to cover those. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day teaching your students.